Okay. So in the previous session, we started with software development lifecycle models. Okay, so altogether we have 7 different models available. So we are done with like 2 different models, that is V model and waterfall model. Okay, now we go for prototype model. So what do you understand by prototype? Prototype.
An unfinished product?
No, prototype means this model is suitable for the projects in which clients are not having any clear requirements. Clients are not having any clear requirements and clients are not having any idea about the final application, how it looks like. Okay, don't have any clear idea how the final application looks like. Okay, so prototype means what? It's like a sample dummy application. So client will say, I want this Bank of America application to be developed. That's it. But he will not have any clear requirement. So first what we are going to do, we are going to gather the requirements. And then we will do the analysis. Then again you will have the designing. Then now you will have a prototype. Prototype is nothing but a dummy sample application. And then you will go ahead and do the coding. And then testing. And finally, maintenance. Okay, so first they will try to gather the requirements. The business analyst will try to gather the requirements. So once after they gather the requirements, now they will go ahead and try to do the analysis. See, whatever the requirements that you get from the client, those are like high level requirements. We can't understand those requirements. To make them understand, okay, so the business analyst will go ahead and do the analysis. So once after analysis is done, now they will try to design the architect of the project. That means how the application looks like, they will try to go ahead and design it. So once after designing is completed, because you will have a prototype, that means a sample dummy application. So now you will show this prototype to the client, to the client. So if the client accepts, then only you'll go for coding, testing and release and maintenance, because in the initial stage only, if the client did not like anything in your application, he will ask you to go ahead and make the changes. After the end of the project, if you show the client and if the client doesn't accept the application whatever you have developed, then it will be a waste of time, budget, resource, everything will be wasted. So you will inform, you will go to the, you will go ahead and inform the client. So what the client will do, if the client accepts, you'll go for coding. If the client says, no, I did not like the application, whatever has been developed, then what they are going to do, the business analyst will again try to gather the requirements. Once after they gather the requirements, we are going to do the analysis. Once analysis is done, now you'll try to go ahead and do the designing, and then you'll have a prototype again. That means again you'll have a dummy application. So once after prototype is calculated, then once it is done, you will show again it to the client. If the client accepts, then you will proceed for coding. So coding will be done. So once after coding is completed, now you will go for testing, and then finally you will go ahead and release and maintain the application. Okay, did you understand or no? So in this prototype, if the prototype has not been accepted by the client, we need to analyze the requirement again and design another prototype. So this process will continue until the prototype has been accepted by the client. Until the prototype has been accepted by the client. Okay, now coming to RAD. RAD means what? Rapid Application Development Model. Rapid Application Development Model. So this model is suitable for the projects in which clients are not having the sufficient time to complete the testing in a project. Okay, so see here, your client has already developed this Bank of America application. Now they wanted to develop another new application called PNC Bank, right? So both are banking projects. Your client has already developed Bank of America. Now he wants to develop another new application called PNC Bank. So what the developer will do? Is he going to write the code again from the beginning? What the developer?
No.
Then what he will do? He will go ahead and make.
They'll copy.
Very good. They will go ahead and make the changes in the existing source code. That means whatever the code they have written for Bank of America application, they will go ahead and make the changes in that particular code. So what are the changes that the developer is going to make in that code? What are the changes that the developer is going to make in the code?
Add or remove some of the functionalities.
What is that? The name of the bank. Very, very important. Am I right?
Yes.
Instead of Bank of America, they'll put PNC Bank. And then they'll change the logo, the font size, alignments of the pages, color. Right? So these are all the changes that the developer is going to make the changes in the code to develop a new application. Okay, they are going to make these changes in the code to develop the new application. Okay, but so here development team is given more priority, but whereas testing team is given very less priority. Why?
Because the original source code has already been tested once for the Bank of America application. So we only have to test any additional features.
Development team is given more development team is given very less preference because with the existing code only they are trying to develop the application. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Testing team is given more preference because they have to verify whether the minor changes are impacting successfully in the application or not. You have to check whether the minor changes are impacting successfully in the application or not. You will go ahead and check. Okay, did you understand? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So that is a RAD model. We are giving more preference to the development because they are making the minor changes in the existing code. But we are giving more preference to the testing team because they have to verify whether those minor changes, whatever the developer has made, whether they are impacting successfully in the application or not. Now coming to spiral model. You know what is a spiral? It's like nothing but a spring. Spiral looks like this. Right? It's like a mosquito coil, you can say. It looks like a spring. So this model is suitable for the projects in which we are expecting 100% accuracy. So where can you go ahead and expect 100% accuracy?
Spiral model.
Yeah, but in real-time projects, like where? In scientific projects like NASA applications, we can expect 100% accuracy. Okay, that means see, when the scientists are trying to launch a satellite into the space, there should not be like 0.000% defect also. Am I right? Yes or no?
Right.
If they are finding any defects, definitely the application may not successfully launch. That means the application, the satellite, whatever they are sending into the space, may not launch successfully. Right? So this is mostly used in NASA applications. So here how we are going to use is, see, first they will go ahead and try to gather the requirements. The business analyst will go ahead and try to gather the requirements. So once after they gather the requirements, now they are going to go ahead and do the analysis. So who does analysis in a project?
Business analyst.
Business analyst is one who is go ahead and do the analysis. So once analysis is done, again they will go back to the requirements. check if there are like any new requirements. Okay, and then again go for analysis, and then now they go for designing. Now they go for designing. Okay, so once after designing is completed, again they will go back to the requirements, check if there are like any new requirements, do the analysis, do the designing, and now they will come for coding. Now they will come for coding. So once coding is completed, again they will go back to the requirements. Okay, and then analysis, design, coding, now testing. So once after testing is completed, again they will go back to the requirements, check if there are like any new requirements, do the analysis, design, coding, testing, and now finally they will go ahead and release and maintain the application. Okay, that means from every current phase, we are going back to the previous phase. Okay, we are confirming the previous phase, and then again we are coming back to the next phase. That means by repeating this activity again and again, we are maintaining 100% accuracy in the spiral model. Am I right? Right? That means from every current phase, we are going back to the previous phase, we are confirming the previous phase, and then only we are coming back to the next phase. So by repeating this activity repeatedly again and again, we are maintaining 100% accuracy in the spiral model. Okay, so what are the advantages of this spiral model? What are the advantages of this spiral model? Advantages.
Advantage is that you will get a perfect
Yes, that
application.
means 100% accuracy. You can go at
100%.
100% accuracy. What are the disadvantages?
It will
Time
take lot of
consuming.
time.
Very good. It is a time-taking model, and it is very expensive also. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it is very expensive model, and it is very time-taking model. Okay. Now coming to the, so this is fish model. So now this is a spiral model. Now we go for fish model. So fish model, no one is going to use this fish model. No one is going to use this fish model. So fish model is nothing but it is a theoretical mapping between the software development lifecycle and software testing lifecycle. Okay. Fish model is nothing but it is a theoretical mapping between the software development lifecycle and software testing lifecycle. Okay, so no one is going to use this fish model. If the project is not going to be a success, are you still going to work for the project? No, definitely not. So fish model, no one is going to use. 100%, no one is going to use this fish model at all. Okay, and then next we go for agile model. This is the most important model, and 99% in all the projects they will be choosing only this agile model. They will be choosing only this agile model. Okay, so now what do you understand by this agile model or agile methodology? What do you understand by that?
It's a flexible model.
So this model is suitable for the long-term projects in which the requirements of the client is changing very frequently. In which the requirements of the client is changing very frequently. That means in this model, the requirements of the client is changing very frequently, so that we need to enhance the application. That means we have to test the application and release the application to the client in a frequent manner. That means for every 1 month or for every 4 months or for every 6 months. Okay, for every 4 months or 3 months or for every 6 months, you will show to the client what you have done in the project. Okay. Now, for understanding of this agile model, we have to understand some terminologies. For understanding of this agile model, we need to understand some terminologies. What are they? What are the terminologies that you should know? Scrum Master, Sprint, then Sprint Finalization, Jira's, Scrum Meeting, then Sprint Sign Off, then QA team and technical team. Okay, so these are all the models that we have. Now coming to Scrum Master. Scrum Master means what?
Project manager.
No. The Scrum Master is a person who is interacting with the client, collecting the requirements from the client and preparing the JIRAs. Now tell me, who is a Scrum Master?
Business analyst.
Very good. Business analyst is the one who is nothing but a Scrum Master. Okay, so he is a person who is interacting with the client, collecting the requirements from the client and preparing the JIRAs. Okay, now coming to Sprint. Sprint means what? Sprint is nothing but the release to deliver to the client. See, you have a 2 years project. So after 2 years, you will not show what you have done to the client. That means for every now and then you will go ahead and show what you have done. So you can either call it as a sprint or release or build. Sprint or release or build. So sprint is nothing but the release to deliver to the client. Okay, and the next one is a sprint finalization. Sprint finalization means it is a meeting. It is a sign-off meeting for JIRAs in which your Scrum Master, QA lead, technical lead, everyone will be involving, and they will finalize the schedule of the sprint. They will finalize the schedule of the sprint. So let's say everyone in a team will sit together like in a meeting or something, and then they will finalize. So let's say testing team will say that I will be finishing the project by October 15th. Development say I'll be finished the project by October 10th. That means, see, when everyone finishes the project, then only you can go ahead and finalize the sprint. That means by October 31st, we can we can go ahead and release it. That means when everyone completes the testing in a project or development, everyone completes their activities, then only you can go ahead and finalize the sprint. Okay, and then JIRAs. JIRAs means finalizing means nothing but fixing the day when you have to release. Okay, JIRAs means JIRAs are nothing but high level requirements which contains both the business and functional requirements. JIRAs are nothing but the high level requirements which contains both business and functional requirements. So JIRAs are nothing but what? But the Scrum Master. JIRAs are nothing but the Scrum Master. Okay. Now
Nothing but what?
BRS, FRS and SRS documents.
Oh, okay.
BRS, FRS and SRS documents is nothing but JIRAs. Okay. Now coming to Scrum meeting. Scrum meeting means, or you can call it a Scrum call also. Scrum meeting or Scrum call. So this is nothing but it is a team call in which your Scrum Master, QA team, technical team, everyone will be involving, and they will discuss about the status of the sprint. That means how much is completed, how much needs to be completed, how long it will take for you to complete. So this all comes under Scrum meeting. Okay. Now next one is sprint sign off. Sprint sign off means this is a meeting in which your Scrum Master, QA lead, technical lead, everyone will be involving, and they will sign off the sprint after successful completion of the sprint. They will sign off the sprint. That means the sprint has been completed. Now we can go for the next sprint or next release. Okay. Now coming to the QA team. QA team means what? It is nothing but the testing team. Okay, QA team is nothing but the testing team. Technical team is, it is nothing but the development team. It's nothing but the development team. So they will ask you, definitely 100% they will ask you, can you please explain me about the agile methodology that you have worked in your previous project? And what you'll say? In agile methodology, Scrum Master will interact with the client. They will try to collect the requirements from the client, and then they are going to prepare the JIRAs. So once the Scrum Master prepares the JIRAs, we will have a sprint finalization meeting. So in that meeting, your Scrum Master, technical team, technical lead, QA lead, everyone will be involving, and they will finalize the schedule of the sprint. So once the sprint schedule has finalized, the technical team will start the development activities and QA team will start the testing activities. How? Based on the JIRAs. So during the sprint on a daily basis, we will have a Scrum meeting or Scrum call, and we will discuss about the status of the sprint. It means how much is completed, how much needs to be completed, and then we will sign off the sprint. This sprint has been completed. Now we can go for the next phase. Okay. So immediately, sprint will start with new JIRAs and also with the updation of the existing JIRAs. So this is how you have to explain if they ask you what is agile methodology. See, in agile methodology, if ever like everyone is working together in a team. So in case if something is wrong, again immediately you'll go ahead and tell the developer. They will try to fix it, and then again the testing team will go ahead and check. So this process will continue. Okay, so this agile model is very, very, very important, guys. Okay, any questions until here?
I have one question. So how can the developing team develop the application and testing team test at the same time? Before like the developer finishing their part.
They will not do testing. They will write the test cases. They will prepare the test cases from their end by seeing the BRS, FRS, and SRS. Once application is ready, they will test it. You understood, right?
Okay.
Once by looking, see, everyone will get the BRS and FRS documents. Simultaneously, developer will go ahead and try to develop the application, and testing team in the meanwhile, they will try to write the test cases. So once the application is ready, then they will try to test the application. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
No? Okay. Now coming to testing methodologies. Testing methodologies. So there are 3 different types of testing methodologies available in the industry. There are 3 different types of testing methodologies available in the industry. What are they? White box testing, then black box testing, and then gray box testing. White box, black box, and gray box. Now coming to white box. White box means what? White box means what? White box. Performing testing on the application with structural knowledge or coding knowledge is called white box testing. Performing testing on the application with structural knowledge or coding knowledge is called white box testing. Okay, so a resource who is having the coding knowledge only can do this white box testing, because they have to write the conditional statements, looping statements, basic path, so many things. Okay, and then coming to black box testing. So what do you understand by black box? Black box testing. Performing.
Testing on application without any programming skills.
Yes, performing testing on the application with functional knowledge is called black box testing. So a resource who is having the functional knowledge of the application only can perform this black box testing in a project. Okay, whoever has a functional knowledge of the application only can perform this black box testing in a project. So testing team only can do this black box testing. Okay, now coming to gray box. So who does gray box testing in a project? Who does?
Any layman who doesn't know anything.
Who has both the knowledges, who has both the testing knowledge and development, testing knowledge and development knowledge only can do this gray box testing in a project. Who has both the knowledges only can do this gray box testing in a project. Okay, and then next one is real-time terminologies and scenarios. Real-time terminologies and scenarios. Now first one is error. So what do you understand by error?
Error is a mismatch between what is expected and what is delivered.
A mistake in the coding part is called error. A mistake in the coding part is called error. So error will be identified by the development team during performing reviews. During performing reviews. Okay. Now next one is defect. Defect means what? A mismatch between the expected result of the test case with the actual result in the application is called a defect. A mismatch between the expected result of the test case with the actual result in the application is called a defect. So defect will be identified by whom?
Testing team.
And they will be providing it to the development. Okay. Next one is what? Bug. Bug means if a defect is accepted by the development team, we are calling it as a bug. If a defect is accepted by the development team, we are calling it as a bug. See, definition wise only we have a difference between a defect and a bug, but practically both are same. Okay. If a defect is accepted by the development team, we are calling it as a bug. Definition wise only we have a difference between a defect and a bug, but practically both are same. Now, next one is what? Ticket. Ticket means what? Which is related to the environment, like software or hardware related things, we are reporting it as a ticket. We are reporting it as a ticket. Okay? Did you understand? So let's say you join a project, so you have some environment issues or you have some software problem or any hardware problem, then you report it as a ticket. Now next one is what? Defect age. What do you understand by a defect age? Defect age.
Now, how long it will take to correct the mismatch?
The time gap between the new status and closed status or current status of the defect is called a defect age. The time gap between the new status, okay, the time gap between the new status and closed status or current status of the defect is called a defect age. So let's say we have reported one defect last Sunday and this Sunday we are going to close the defect. So what is the defect age? 1 week. Am I right? The defect age is 1 week. So last Sunday you opened the defect and this Sunday you close the defect. So the defect density is 1 week. Okay. And now coming to defect density. What do you understand by defect density? Defect density means what? It defines for average how many lines of code we have identified one defect in the application. For average, how many lines of code we have identified one defect in the application. So we can identify. So let's say we have a formula here. Defect density is equal to total number of lines of code divided by number of defects identified. Total number of lines of code divided by number of defects identified. So let's say altogether we have 50,000 lines of code. So out of this 50,000 lines of code, we could find only 100 defects. So what could be the defect density? 500. That means for every 500 lines of code, we could find one defect in the application. Defines for every 500 lines of code, we could find one defect in the application. That is called defect density. Did you understand? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, next one is defect leakage. What is a defect leakage? A defect which has been leaked from one environment to another environment is called a defect leakage. Okay, defect leakage is nothing but a defect which has leaked from one environment to another environment is called a defect leakage. So defect leakage is happening in the application because of the improper deployment. Because of the improper deployment. That means if the application is not deployed properly from one environment to another environment, then we call it as a defect leakage. Okay, now coming to the next one is what? Check-in call. Check-in call means conference call. Check-in call is nothing but it is a conference call in which your offshore team, onshore team, client, everyone will be involving to discuss about the status of the project. How much is completed, how much needs to be completed, how long it will take for you to complete. So this all comes under check-in call. Now coming to task. Task means what? Task is nothing but the work which we need to perform in a project. Task is nothing but the work that we need to perform in a project. Okay. Now next one is task allocation. Task allocation means task allocation. How we are getting the
Who will do what the job? Yeah.
how we are going to allocate the tasks in the project. So we are getting the tasks in our project directly from the client. Okay. We are getting the tasks in the project. How we are getting the tasks? We are getting the tasks in the project through the client. Okay, so how we are going to allocate this all tasks to the members? Based on their experience, designation and skill sets. Based on their experience, designation and skill set, we are going to allocate the task. Okay, so let's say you have like 2 years of experience, so you will get a small task. If you have like 8 years of experience, they'll expect a lot of things from you. Okay, and then next one is severity. Severity means the seriousness of the defect with respect to other functionality. Seriousness of the defect with respect to other functionality is called severity. That means how seriously the identified defect is impacting on the related functionalities of the application. How seriously the identified defect is impacting on the related functionality. So during performing testing, if we identify any defects, we are reporting the defects to the development team. So while reporting the defect to the development team, we need to clearly specify how important or how it is to this. See, altogether we have 5 different statuses available under severity. What are they? Low, medium, high, very high, and urgent. Low, medium, high, very high, and urgent. Now coming to priority. Priority means how soon the development team needs to fix the defect. How soon they have to fix it. So again, you will have all the 5 different status. So it can be like low, medium, high, very high, and urgent. So these all will come again in the quality center too. This all will come again in the quality center tool. Okay. So this is all about our manual testing. So any questions in manual testing, or you want me to repeat anything, both of you?
No.
No? Okay. So did you download the softwares on your system or no?
No, ma'am.
So you have to go ahead and download all the softwares on your system. Okay.
Where do we download all of them from?
Did you get the links from the support desk?
I tried contacting Vijay. He said he was gonna do it, but I did not hear back from him.
Oh, okay. So regarding the software links, okay, I will send you the links. So just go ahead and download all the links on your system, okay?
Okay.
And share your screen to the support desk, so they will install the softwares on your system, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Let's see tomorrow.